Japanese Internment by Kinsley, and Briley. The Japanese internment was considered to have resulted more from racism than from any security posted by the Japanese. Those were as little as 1/6 of Japanese, and with orphan infants that had one drop of Japanese blood were placed into camps.
Roosevelt authorized the deportation and incarceration, and with exclusive order 1966. Issued February 19, 1942, which allowed regional military commanders to designate military areas from which any or all people may be executed.
Takeo Yoshida
was a spy from the Japanese internment. He spied on the Pearl Harbor. His undercover name was
Tadashi Morimoto.
He sometimes rode around in a tugboat and took notes on the daily gossip about the Pearl Harbor. He worked with a German agent. His name was Bernard Kahir. They worked very closely together.
In early life, before the attack on Pearl Harbor, Yoshikawa trained to become a spy in Hawaii. He originally wanted to be a naval pilot. He graduated top of his class. Later in life, he received a thank you letter from Hitler from getting dirt on the Pearl Harbor.
Yoshikawa was the Japanese Imperial Navy's expert on the U.S. Pacific Fleet. He came here posing as a low-level diplomat. He arrived by ship on the 27th of March, 1941. He took his job and he stayed at the consulate itself in the Uwanu Valley, here just above downtown Honolulu. He was given $600. That was his budget for his espionage activities here on the island. Even though he only had that much money, Madao Kita, Consul Jack said, "Don't worry, we'll help." Nobody but Madao Kita knew his real mission here on the island. Every day he would make his way down to Pearl Harbor to see what he could see. Sometimes he would rent a light aircraft and take sightseeing tours over the island of Oahu, not only looking in the direction of Pearl Harbor as he made his approach to land, but he could easily see what was available and what was being done in military installations all over Oahu. Sometimes he would make his way up to a place where there was a Japanese tea house. In 1941, it was called Sunshow Road. Today it still exists. It's called Natsuoya Tea House. He would enjoy the company of geishas and good Japanese food that he missed in Japan. He would sometimes feign being drunk. That way the Mama-san said, "Don't worry, you can stay here with me." And he did, to observe Pearl Harbor from his perch high in the hills above. A customer named Yoshikawa used to come here the other day for tea or beer. When he was tired, my grandmother let him sleep in the upstairs room where we had a telescope. Unbeknownst to us, he was watching the ship movement to and from Pearl Harbor.
And here we have a video about the Japanese internment camps.
More than 120,000 Americans of Japanese ancestry were incarcerated in 10 different camps.
Some Japanese Americans died in the camps due to illness and stress.
Several were killed by military guard posted for allegedly resisting orders.
The fears that if the Japanese invaded the west coast of America, where there was a lot of Japanese Americans, they would be loyal to Japan instead of the United States.
More than 66%.
This afternoon.
More than 66% of the Japanese were sent to internment camps in the spring of 1942 and were born in America and have never been to Japan.
Because the camps were not completed without Roosevelt's signature, the exclusive order, the Japanese prisoners were sent to stables and racetracks and for sale.
Japanese veterans who fought in World War I were also sent to camps.
There were 10 different camps in the USA. They were in Colorado, Idaho, Utah, Arkansas, Colorado, Wyoming, and Arizona.
The camps were located in areas that made farming difficult, and the prisoners ate a lot of army crab-style food.
The internment camps had cardboard rock for housing, mess halls, and school. The adults were allowed to work if they chose for $5 per day.
The U.S. Army eventually decided to allow the prisoners to leave the camps if they joined the U.S. Army, but only 1,200 took the option.
On the picture above, the family is hanging out the window holding a peace sign because they want peace. Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor helped fuel the anti-Japanese sentiment that led the Roosevelt expedition.
Japanese Americans are also known as Maasai, North and South America and Australia, which is a term that means children born to Japanese people.
Today, the two largest populations in the world of Japanese immigrants and descendants of Japanese live in the United States, California, Brazil, and Peru.
In 1988, surviving prisoners were awarded only 60,000 prisoners of the internment camps were still alive. Leaders encouraged Japs to farm and work. It was hard to farm due to the rocky land.
They could mingle with other people and could pretty much hang out, but on lockdown, worked for $5 a day.
They got to vote for their leaders' boss.
People were more nice than you think.
The second slide states that the Japanese internet was mainly caused by racism.
It also said that if you even look like a Japanese American, you are sent to the earth.
The third slide briskly talks about
Takeo Yoshitaka.
he spotted and gathered gossip about the Pearl Harbor.
Fourth and fifth slide are videos that explain the topics.
6 tells you about the camps and where the Japs lived.
7 through 9 explains facts about what the Japs did and just some brief facts. 10 talks about more in depth about what the Japanese Americans did. And then we found our information at Wikipedia.
Thank you for watching this.